Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about the idea of not stopping even when you come across some quite difficult circumstances. So today I didn't really want to film my videos. I'm a bit ill, my nose is sort of runny. I've just done a video where I'm playing a bit of music and I had to like stuff a bit of tissue paper like right up my nose, and it's just sort of like, that's not really what you're meant to do. That's not how you're meant to look. That's not how things are meant to be. You're meant to look slick and right all the time. And maybe that's not necessarily always got to be the case. Maybe sometimes we can look a bit of a wreck, you know? Especially because like illness happens to everybody. You think Brad Pitt doesn't get sick? You think Tom Cruise doesn't get ill? All of these people are slowly dying, you know? They get colds, they get flus, they get all sorts of things, right? And they're sitting there miserable and sweaty and going, oh, my head, okay? But they're still going, and obviously they take time off, okay? I'm not saying that these people are like the hardest working people ever. I mean, they're not like doctors or, I don't know, pilots. Well, I don't know why pilots was the first thing that came to my mind. People that like do serious proper things that are really like valuable for the infrastructure of the world, you know, like the people who keep the taps running, the people who keep the roads fixed, the people that sort all of this stuff out that we just take for granted, right? Sickness happens to everybody, and illness comes, and people get weakened, and people end up dropping out, and people end up falling off the horse and they have to try and get back on it. All of these kind of things. We're all kind of hanging on by a thread a little bit. This whole planet kind of is, in a weird way, when you sort of look in behind the scenes of something and you see kind of just how unprofessional a working environment actually is, when you kind of strip back that one layer of wallpaper and you just see the brick behind it, what it's actually made of, and it's not particularly all that professional. Because everything, every company, every business, every thing, every organization in general is just an amalgamation of people that have a goal, and sometimes that goal is unified, sometimes that goal isn't unified, and us as human beings try to come together to solve problems in novel ways, whether that's necessarily creative or that's logistical, you know, in the case of like, ooh, how do we figure out the sewer system for this city we're building, or the city we're building, like we're in city skylines or something. But you know, the general point that I'm trying to make is that it can be quite hard for us all to continue no matter what. And obviously sometimes there'll be something that comes that just knocks you out, or like a personal emergency will happen to you, or you'll get so ill that you can't even do a video like this where you have to sort of apologise for being a bit ill. You are just full on just bedridden. You know, you have all these sort of little things that can kind of get in the way and mess up with your flow. And you know, sometimes it's not about just not letting it, because sometimes you don't have a choice. You have to let it happen because it will just overpower you, and that's okay, that's fine. Sometimes that stuff happens. That's the nature of life. That's the nature of the way that things are. You know, people get colds. As I said, do you think Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or any like major hero that you might have, do you think they don't get like this? Do you think they don't have sort of bad days or off days? Of course they do. Do you think there's not a day where, like, I don't know, just people out there are just sat on their ass, just kind of like, oh God, I don't want to do this. You know, there's all of these things are happening all the time, and it's just important to stay aware of that, because you can end up comparing yourself to others, because you never see the bad times of other people, and like you're not going to see the bad times of me either. But like, I mean, like proper ones. I mean, like you'll see a bit of this, because I want to show that you can just continue anyway, even if you get a bit of a cold. And you know, most YouTubers, you hear a Let's Player just go, oh guys, I'm sorry for my voice a bit today, I've got a bit of a sore throat. Or, oh sorry guys, I've got a bit of a cold, so excuse my throat. They like they like doing that stuff, okay? Because it gives a sense of connectivity to the individual, that the YouTuber or whatever it is. In fact, whilst they also get to be more honest, they also get to brand themselves as more honest. So honesty is a form of branding when it comes to this sort of public speaking sort of thing, because everything is a small form of manipulation, even what I'm doing now. So don't take anything that I'm saying at any kind of face value. Don't believe a word that I say, just the same way that you shouldn't believe a word that any of the other people say. Take the words at face value, think, do they apply to my life? If they do, then keep watching more of the videos and let the the person sort of worm their way into your brain. And if you don't think that they're helping you, then just forget about them and find someone else. We've all got the people that we attach to. We've got the personality types that work for us. All of these kind of things. So all you need to do really is just go for what works for you, keep trying, and don't sort of stop even if you come into a bit of a hard time, and don't stop until you are properly boof like that, okay? Because once you get like that, boof, that's when you know you've done so much that you can actually rest easy. At least that's the way that I see it. That's probably not a healthy way of doing it, just going flat out until you collapse. But why not? Why not try things? Why not go for the heavy hitters? Every time I've taken a risk in my life, even if the risk hasn't paid off or it's completely catastrophically blown up in my face, I haven't regretted taking that risk. I've done some stupid things in my life, and I don't regret any of them really, because they all help to build you up to the person that you become. Everything is a stepping stone that you build upon from there. Every single life experience is necessary to make the person that you are today. And the more life experiences you have, the more developed your own self and sense of self will become, because you have the backlog in your brain to actually understand who you are in various situations. You know what you're like in, I don't know, an intimate conversation. You know what you're like in a group situation. You know what you're like at a concert. You know what you're like at, all these sort of a job interview or whatever. You know what you're like in various situations. And as you learn yourself, then you're able to become the truest version of yourself, because that is something that you need a tiny bit of exercise to actually do, because it's not just about being yourself, it's about knowing that you're being yourself and not feeling like you're faking any parts of your personality to appease others, because it's very easy to sort of do that. It's incredibly easy to just sort of become someone that kind of what do you think? They think I'm an idiot, or they probably think I'm really boring. We all get those little things, those little anxieties. Right now my brain's thinking, oh God, they must think I'm fucking stupid for filming a video like this. It's fucking rank. I mean, how many videos just leave that in that shouldn't be left in? Really, I should have jump cut around it, but I'm not going to, because that's the sort of thing that is real. That's the sort of thing that happens from time to time, and it's important. It's not necessarily important to see, but it's just interesting to know that we all come into these weird little situations. We're all vulnerable in various sort of ways. We all have our own flaws and our problems, and sometimes they get big, sometimes they get small. Sometimes we're on a high, sometimes we're on a low. The ebb and the flow of life just continues forever and ever and ever. And sometimes Mother Nature will give you a hell of a lot of stuff on a big silver platter, and sometimes it will sort of go, hey, come on now, you've been eating quite a lot. Are you not full? Yeah, sorry, I need the plate back. Well, it's just I'm doing the washing up, you see, so because I need to load the dishwasher. I'd rather get that one in. I need to put that one in first at the back, because that's how it sort of works. I don't know what I'm talking about now, really. There's just an improv about dishwashers. But yeah, the overall point that I'm making is, in terms of being yourself, think of it like this. You've got one life. Let's say your life is 80 years long, okay? Now you're going to spend about 25 to 30 of them years, probably about 20 to 25 of those years, sleeping. So really, you've got about 60 years. So how do you want to use those 60 years? Do you want them to be filled with moments where you can look back on and feel like, I am me, I'm proud of myself, I'm proud of who I am? Or is it going to be a case where you look back and you kind of feel like you were faking it the entire time? And because is it not better to be a genuine, sort of honest, weak-willed person than it is to be a fake, strong person? Who behind closed doors is really much weaker than they make themselves out to be. Is it not better to just be upfront about who you are and just, yeah, I know I'm not perfect, so what? No one is. Rather than to sort of try and project something, because that's an aspirational thing. You're projecting it because you want to feel like you're going to get there someday. So it's a challenge to get to that destination, that ideal version of you. And there is no version of you that is ideal other than the one that exists at the moment, because right now you are in control of this brain fucking thing that's in your head. So you can go out there and actually see what you're going to do with it. You can put it in weird little situations. You could go out right now, go into the centre of town, or find the nearest city to you and just have a mad one on the town. If you got no money, fucking dive into an overdraft. You could just do that. You know, or if you can't do that, you could take out a payday loan or something. Like, obviously I'm not saying these are good ideas, but I'm saying you do have the world at your fingertips at any 1 second. You can do a lot more than you think. And sometimes you got to do stupid things in order to put yourself in the right positions. Sometimes you need to go through life making mistakes in order to learn from them and to see what's going to happen. Because that's just the nature of life. You know? Sometimes life works in fun ways. Sometimes life just is a pain in the ass. And that's just the nature of it, really. Like, so yeah, wrapping it back round to me being ill. I'm quite ill at the moment. I'm going to shine this light on me just so you can get an idea. Yeah, it's not great at the moment, I must say. What the issue is, I think, is it's that. I can't really do much talking, so I'm going to keep doing these videos, but I'm also worried that it's going to be like a bit of a turn off for viewers. I feel like the audience retention is going to go down as I fucking sniff and gob my way through the videos. But, you know, what else am I supposed to do? Do it in voiceover? I feel like, nah, I don't want to do all that. I'd rather keep it honest. I'd rather keep it like this is the genuine version. And at some point I'll get over the illness, and some point I'll get ill down the line in the future. We all get ill. It's whatever, you know. But as long as you're just sensible about it, who cares? So it's not COVID, by the way. I know that was already I know in 2025 nearly now, so it doesn't really matter. But you know, it's not COVID. I think it's just a cold. Yeah. So basically, the point of this video was you can sort of do much more than you think you can, even when you're at your weakest. So that's about the video. Thank you very much for watching this. I hope you have a great rest of the day. I quite like this sort of newer angle. I'm going to do more of these. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye.